went over your food shopping list, which I told you I would email to you in case you didn't get a chance to watch that video. You can search it on YouTube. I'll probably call it food shopping list, so search that. And now I'm going to show you what to do with all this food, like how you structure your meals. Disregard the barking dogs in the background. Attention here, okay? Shh, quiet. I'm trying to do a video. You didn't like that? All right, now I need to focus. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how you're gonna structure your meals. This is how I structure my meals daily. Take this with a grain of salt because this is what works for me. This is why I ask all of my clients very detailed questions. I give them a questionnaire that they fill out about their lifestyle, their goals, what foods they like, what time they work out, what time they go to bed, their work schedule. All of that gets taken into account when you're devising your meal plan. So there's no one size fits all. This is just what works for me, and it might work for you too. Okay, so I do recommend that people try to get 6 meals in a day. I always ask how many meals someone is eating to start with, because if you're only eating 1-2 meals a day, you're not going to go from 1 meal a day to 6 meals a day overnight. It's just not realistic. So for you, I would encourage you to start eating 3 meals a day, and then once you've got that down, then go to 4, then 5, and then maybe 6. There are other ways to slice it. What's that saying? There are more than one way. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Yeah, I got a nod from behind the camera, yeah. So there's more than one way to create a meal plan. Some people do intermittent fasting, and I'm not opposed to that. I think that's great. So you're gonna have to see what works for you best. This is what works for me and for most of my clients best. All right, so for meal 1, what I recommend that you do, we're playing kind of a little bit of a game here. This side of the board, don't look at that. That was another game we were playing earlier. This is our game right here. So meal 1, I'm gonna have to be creative with how I do this. This was the food shopping list, throwing it down. Maybe I can, ooh, look at that. Okay, hopefully they don't go down my skirt. So meal 1, you want protein and carbs in here, okay? So protein is gonna be with every meal. And I'm not saying that carbs have to be eaten your first meal, but I prefer to get my carbs in the first half of the day and then keep my carbs to a bare minimum, only in the form of veggies and low glycemic index carbs for the second half of the day. And the reason is because when you give your body a break from spiking your insulin, then it's good for fat burning. So basically the way it works is when you eat carbs, your pancreas releases insulin. When your insulin is elevated, your body's ability to burn fat way down here. And if you're interested in fat burning, that's not going to be ideal for you. Or if you maybe are interested in blood sugar control for someone with diabetes, you don't want to constantly be spiking your insulin. So it's good to give your body that break from spiking your insulin. So that's why you'll see meals 1 through 3 have protein and carbs. I'm going to be giving you examples in just a second, but meals 4 through 6 are going to have proteins, veggies, and healthy fats. So protein, veggie, healthy fat for meal 4. You're going to find the same exact thing for meals 5 and 6. This is going to be a little tricky to poke this up on the board down here. Protein, veggie, healthy fats. And meal 6, we got protein, veggie, healthy fats. I put a question mark next to veggies because a lot of people can't eat that much. And if that is the case, don't worry about getting those veggies in, but get at least 2 servings of veggies a day. I think I mentioned to you how I call myself the broccoli monster because I eat broccoli all the time. So there you have it. Now I'm going to give you examples, okay? This is what you might do for breakfast. You might do, let me tuck these back in again. Boom. You might do for breakfast 1 egg, a half a cup of egg whites, and a piece of fruit. That's kind of what I do every morning for breakfast. And then what I do is I get my workout in right here. Either right here or right here I'm getting my workout in. And that way I'm surrounding my workout with protein and carbs, which is very beneficial. I actually might do a whole separate video on that, just explaining why protein and carbs is so important to get not only around your workout times, but just if you're working out in general, why protein and carbs are so important. Of course, unless you're doing ketosis, then whatever, but we're not going to do that here. Okay, meal number 2, an example. This is typically my post-workout. 2 to 4 ounces of a lean meat, such as like chicken breast or lean ground turkey with sweet potato. I have been doing like 4 ounces of sweet potato and 4 ounces of banana for my post-workout meal. which is a lot of food. If you measure that out, you're gonna be like, that's kind of a lot. Yeah, it is. The beauty of this is, like, once your body becomes accustomed to eating this much, is you start to speed up your metabolism and you eat a lot of food. Okay, so then for your lunch, you want to do another protein and carb. Again, going with the whole idea of getting your carbs in the first half of the day, giving your body a break from spiking the insulin in the second half of the day. So an example would be 2 to 4 ounces of meat and a sweet potato. For females, I would go closer to the 2 to 3 ounce. For males, I'd go closer to the 4 ounce of meat, because, you know, if your body has more muscle mass and if you are male, typically your body is going to be burning a few extra calories than females. So that's kind of why I put 2 to 4 ounces. I love sweet potatoes, so I could eat them all day. Put a little cinnamon on that and sea salt, and that is so good. Sometimes vanilla extract and occasionally some stevia. Never hurts. So then typically people are like in between lunch and dinner at this point. You're spacing these out about every 3 hours. I do like every 2 to 4 hours. And then protein, healthy fat, and veggie is going to be this snack right here. I call it meal 4, you can call it a snack. So I'm going to say 2 hard-boiled eggs, hopefully this doesn't fall on me, 2 hard-boiled eggs and 1 cup of sauteed veggies. So you want to eat foods that you enjoy. If you don't like hard-boiled eggs, don't eat them. I like hard-boiled eggs, especially with some sea salt. And this is super weird, but if you want to give this a shot, maybe you'll like it too. I do hard-boiled eggs, and I dip a little coconut oil on them, and I'm so weird sometimes, and put salt on it, and I love it. So you could try it and see if you like it. Another thing I really like doing is putting the primal mayo on the hard-boiled eggs. That is so good. It's almost like a deviled egg, or a little bit of avocado. So for my veggies, like, I love sauteing broccoli, so that's usually what I do. For this would fall right around where dinner falls. So your protein, veggie, and healthy fat here. One idea that you could do is a salad. You do like a whole bunch of leafy greens with some veggies that you like, tomatoes. I usually skip the veggie part. I just go like maybe 4 cups of leafy greens. And but if you want to throw in like tomatoes, onions, whatever, then obviously that's all fair game in a salad. And 2 to 4 ounces of protein, some boneless, skinless chicken breast, some lean ground turkey, whatever you want. And I love, my favorite thing to do with a salad is to put in a tablespoon of the primal mayonnaise. Again, I talk about it all the time because I love it. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and a packet of stevia. Just mix it all up, and it's kind of like my version of a Caesar salad. And that's the point that I really try to hammer home with people, is that whatever unhealthy food you like, you can probably recreate a healthy version of it. It might taste a little bit different, but your body will crave that healthy food, and we are not meant to eat all of that processed junk. And if you look around and you see how many people are so sick in our world, it's definitely correlated with all the crap that we put in our bodies. And so, no, this is not what an average person does, but is an average person healthy? No, they're not. So why do you want to be like an average person? Okay, anyway, I'll get off of my little soapbox now. Back to this last thing. If you're still hungry at night, which if you're not, then start getting used to it. 2 to 4 ounces of meat with 1 to 2 cups of veggies, question mark, depending on how hungry you are. And I put 1/3 of an avocado. I probably, again, would go with my primal mayonnaise and dip the chicken in that. So this is basically what I do. I eat about 19-ish hundred calories a day, and I work out about 5 to 6 times a week, no more than an hour at a time. I used to work out a lot more than that, and then it was too much stress for my body and bad things started to happen. So I had to dial it in and moderate myself a bit more. And this is what I do on a day-to-day basis. This is something similar to what most of my clients do. And if you follow something like this, I would say for a month, you should see some really good results. If you have any questions on this, then you can always reach out to me on social media. My Instagram is Lindsey Day Fitness. Lindsey is spelled with an E. My Facebook is Lindsey Day Fitness, and my Snapchat is LindseyRDay. My website, www.LindseyDayFitness.com. If you want to fill out an intake form, I can suggest for you maybe a couple of things, a couple of ways that I might be able to help you. And other than that, give this a shot. I would love to know how it works for you. We're on a golf course, so I feel like it wouldn't be a complete video unless I tried to take a putt. How about this? If I score this, then Mom, you have to eat like this for one full day. All right, how's my swing's not the greatest, my putt's not the greatest. How's my stance?
You're good.
All right. Oh man, 2 tries. If I miss this, all right. So now you have to eat like this for one day. Okay guys, that's it. Have a good rest of your day.